So was Harishchandra in Banaras at this time? The ghat at Banaras called Harishchandra Ghat is associated with this story. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am reading book Devlok with Devdutt Patnayak. And I was started reading part 26, Harishchandra. So let's continue. The Domes who work in the cremation ground there claim that they had bought Harishchandra once upon a time. It's a point of prestige for them that King Harishchandra was their slave. In many places, Doms were considered rich because they kept the gold that was left behind by Brahmins on the dead bodies. Although Harishchandra has no social status, he is not treated badly. He is only asked to do his work. His wife, on the other hand, is treated badly. Although she resides with an upper caste, a Brahmin, she who was used to the life of a queen now has to cook and clean and do strenuous household work. It is a reflection of how one's lot can change with time. But she handles it with great dignity. Both she and Harishchandra don't complain about the hard times that have befallen them. This is the important thing about Harishchandra. He accepts his karma, his fate with dignity. We feel bad about their misfortune just as we feel good about a rages to riches story. Then the situation worsens towards the end. To test him further, Vishwamitra sends a poisonous snake to bite his son, Rohit, who dies in the garden. His mother, the queen, Taramati, Chandravati in some stories, brings the dead child to the crematorium. She and Harishchandra recognize each other but don't acknowledge it because now they are no longer related. They belong to someone as slaves. He agrees to cremate the body and asks for his fee. She says she does not have anything. He insists because that's the rule. That's what his master demands. She can beg and plead all she wants, but he needs the fees. So she gives the clothes off her body. The scene is that a one time queen is taking off her clothes to pay her husband, a one time king, for their son's cremation. At that time, the gods come down to earth, thoroughly impressed. Harishchandra does not even stop his wife from taking off her clothes, the ultimate humiliation. It's the acme of integrity, the highest level of commitment. At this point, Vishwamitra arrives and tells them it was a test to see what he and his wife would break. But they never did. You are worthy of becoming Indra, the greatest king. You are welcome into Indra's assembly. Harishchandra was such a great king. He kept his word even at the cost of his dignity. Another story goes that King Harishchandra's life has been saved by the god Varun, in return for which Harishchandra agrees to sacrifice his son. When Varun comes to claim the life, Queen Taramati is upset and tells the king that he did not consult her before making the promise, so he should now sacrifice them both. An advisor tells the king to adopt a child and offer that child as sacrifice instead of his own son. A farmer named Ajigarth comes forward and offers his second son, Sunashep, for sacrifice. He says that his wife is very fond of the youngest and the eldest helps him in the farm. He asks for 100 cows as payment. The king agrees. However, on the day of sacrifice, nobody agrees to do the job of killing the child. Even the executioners says it will amount to pap or sin for the child is innocent. Finally, the farmer himself agrees to kill his son in exchange for 100 more cows. The king is disgusted with the farmer. Aren't you ashamed? He asks. The farmer says, no, because now he is your son. In this story, Harishchandra seems manipulative, making technical adjustments to save his son's life. It's a tragic story when a father agrees to sell his son, then to kill him for material benefit. The story is also about a king's unscrupulous ways to save his own son while sacrificing someone else. It is far more realistic. This is not an idealistic Harishchandra. Maybe that's why this story is not so famous. The story tells of how, in times of trouble, we are ready to promise anything. Here, Harishchandra promises to sacrifice his son in exchange for recovery from terrible health. In the other story, too, he agrees to give everything to save himself from Vishwamitra's wrath. In good times, you wonder if you can meet that promise. In the earlier story, he does not give away everything. In the second one, he tries to find a way around it. Here, a father agrees to kill his son, while in the earlier story, a father sells his son to slavery. In hard times, in poverty, in any man may treat his son as commodity, even Harishchandra. And greed can make you do anything. The farmer rationalizes to himself that his son is no longer his own. It is not important whether the story is true or not. Reflecting on these stories gave one an insight into human behavior. What was Harishchandra's connection with Ram? Harishchandra is Ram's ancestor. Both were honest, good kings of the Suryavansh who always kept their word and had integrity. They never complain when misfortune comes their way. They accept it with dignity and fortitude. In the Gita, it's described as sthit pragya, a person who is stable in both positive and negative situations. Both Harishchandra and Ramchandra have Chandra in their names, but they were both Suryavanshis. How did Chandra become attached to their names? One can only speculate about this from some stories. There are no definite answers. In one such story, while Ram is good king, he nevertheless wrongs Sita by sending her away for no fault of hers. Due to this, the sun enters an eclipse, and so Ram was called Ramchandra. Perhaps the same can apply to Harishchandra as he too sold his wife. Another story is that as a child, Ram was very fond of the moon and wanted to possess it. He was shown a reflection in water and he thought the moon had arrived in his house. He loved the moon so much, hence his name. It might have been the same with Harishchandra. So, this is it for today and for this part also. I'll be back with next part, part 27. So, till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.